Hi guys, it's Kieran from Red Devil Weekly to give you my brief pre-match thoughts ahead of United's game against Luton Town. 4:30 kickoff Sunday tomorrow when you're watching this. It's going to be a tough one. Luton have proven to be a very difficult opponent, especially at Kenilworth Road this season. So it's a difficult hurdle for us to manoeuvre, but we do have momentum coming into this game, and hopefully we can keep that momentum going. Before we get into it, if you do enjoy the content, please do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share it around, all that good stuff if you do enjoy it and you are inclined to do so. And feel free to leave your thoughts on anything I say and any predictions whatsoever of this Luton game in the comment section down below. I love interacting with you guys down there, so please do leave your thoughts in the comments. But we're going to get straight into it. As I said, I'm going to keep this fairly brief. We'll talk about Luton Town for a bit, because Luton have had an interesting season, to say the least. Promoted on a penalty shootout, beating Coventry in the playoff final last season. Coming into this season, I think a lot of people looked at their squad and thought, yep, straight back down. It's one of those teams that, come up, kind of struggle a lot, don't really have Premier League quality players, no players that really have much Premier League pedigree, as it were, and they just go straight back down. But you know what? They've hung in there, and even though the start of the season it looked like that was going to be the case, they were struggling a lot. Right now and towards this period, they've shown a little bit of a resurgence. They've got a few decent results recently. I'm just looking at it now. Um, Obviously, the 4-0 win over Brighton, a 4-4 draw as well away at Newcastle. So recently they've had a few decent results and they've shown a lot of fight, and they've shown that they are not going to go down easily, which is a testament to Rob Edwards' side, and that is why they're such a difficult side to play against. As I mentioned, obviously 17th in the league right now, 5 wins, 5 draws, 13 losses, of course, which is probably about expected. But realistically, if you do the maths, if you average about 1 point a game, you should be able to stay up. And obviously, right now, Luton are on 20 points in 23 games. So they're going about that just fine, really. They're just about in the right tempo. But of course, one other thing we can talk about, is even though they've had some good recent results, they've also had some very close games against the so-called Big Six. I mean, their latest game, obviously, 3-2 defeat at Kenilworth Road against Chelsea, but obviously pushed them all the way in that one. Beat Newcastle 1-0 at Kenilworth Road, of course. Just narrowly lost to Man City 2-1. Needed a Declan Rice kind of last-minute winner for Arsenal to beat Luton at the Kenilworth Road. So it's clearly a very, very tough place to go. The fans are up for it. It's a big occasion, and of course Manchester United will be no different for them. So that is why I'm a little bit worried going into this game. And Luton fans, there is a lot to be optimistic about as well. Especially when you're playing, these big sides. I think they know how to get up for a game, and they make it very difficult. And Kenilworth Road as a place to go is just very kind of narrow, and it's not the usual Premier League stadium, so I think that really plays into their favour. Of course, a few notable players, of course, Adebayo, their top goal scorer, 9 goals in all competitions this season for him. Carlton Morris as well, who was brilliant in the Championship last season. And of course, Ross Barkley, who was brought in the summer, has done fantastically well for them so far. 3 goals on the board in all competitions. I'm just looking at it here. And he's someone who really has added to the way they play. Probably one of their best players of the season so far. And of course, for Manchester United fans, we will be seeing Tahith Chong come up against us. I don't think he starts as much for Luton, but we had him on our books for quite a while, came through the youth ranks, and just never really pushed on. He had a few appearances, a few Europa League games here and there, Carabao Cup games, but he never really pushed on to the levels that we've seen from the likes of Rashford and Mainu and these guys that have come through and cemented their starting place in the team. So obviously we wish him well, and hopefully he doesn't score against us, even though that feels like it could be in the script. But obviously we wish him well in his career. He's still very young, still got a way to go. But that's a little bit about Luton. Let's go on to Manchester United and the predicted lineup, which is a lot easier than it used to be. And this is something which I think has really contributed to our momentum building and our consistency. Our lineup now is very easy to predict. Our back line, our midfield, our forward line isn't looking like it's going to change. And I think that's something that we haven't had under Ten Hag. We haven't really had a settled starting 11 for quite a while, especially this season. There's been a lot of injuries, and yes, we did get the injury to Martinez. Obviously, Shaw had a bit of a knock in the last game, but Ten Hag said it was precautionary. But ultimately, that team is pretty well the team that started the last 3 or 4 games, and that's what we need to keep, fingers crossed, for the rest of the season if we're going to have any chance of challenging for that top 4 spot. And of course, because of Spurs' defeat today to Wolves, we have a chance to close the gap to Spurs to 3 points, which would be very helpful indeed. So I've gone with Onana in goal, Dalot, Varane, Maguire and Luke Shaw. I've included Luke Shaw, even though he was taken off in the last game against Aston Villa. Obviously, Ten Hag saying it's a precaution, so I have gone with Luke Shaw. Mainu, Casemiro, Fernandes, Rashford, Garnacho, Højlund. Those 6 players, I think, really pick themselves at this point, which, trust me, isn't a bad thing. So that's what I've gone with. Let me know your predicted 11s in the comment section down below. And let's give a score prediction. My score prediction going into this game, as we said, we look back at all the results against the top 6 sides, or the big 6 sides, at Kenilworth Road. All very, very close games, and I don't think this is going to be any different. Sky cameras, 4:30, big game, Super Sunday. I hope we can get the job done in a very professional and ruthless manner, but I don't see that happening, especially with all the drama that's been going on in our last few Premier League games. The 4-3 against Wolves, the late winner against Aston Villa, late winners in both those games. I don't see us making it easy for ourselves in this one. I don't see Luton making it easy for us either. So, with that being said, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Manchester United. I'm backing Højlund to make it 6 in 6 for him in the Premier League. And I think Bruno Fernandes gets a goal as well. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Hit like and subscribe if you did enjoy the content. Really appreciate all your support. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.